All right, so let's do this. Hey, welcome guys. Welcome back to this channel. We are Growth Hack, and today I'm here with my friend Ryan. Welcome to the channel, Ryan. How you doing?
Hey, David. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing quite good. A little bit tired. It's a Monday evening, 9 p.m. Still working, but that's the hustle. We keep grinding, right?
That's all right. We don't sleep. I was working this weekend, and it never stops. If people need me, I'm there to answer questions.
Yeah. So today you're here to answer our questions and to give all of your value. We're gonna squeeze you. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's all good. No, let's go. I got lots to give, so let's go.
That's perfect. That's what we want to hear. So Ryan, for who doesn't know, who is landing right now on this YouTube channel, we are Growth Hack. So what we do, we provide growth hacking for Amazon sellers and for e-commerce in general. And I'm your host, David, and I'm interviewing all of my friends in the Amazon and e-commerce space. And we just make sure that you get tons of values for free. There is no subscription here. There is nothing. We just ask you to leave a like and to subscribe to this channel if you didn't do it. So let's do it right now. Ryan, tell us, why did I call you here? Who are you? What you're doing? And what kind of value you can give to our listeners?
Great question. Hopefully I can answer that. But basically, so I have a weird e-commerce background. It's a non-traditional way. I've worked for multiple e-commerce businesses in different capacities. I actually got my start in e-commerce working for a manufacturer and distributor in Richmond, Virginia. They manufactured their goods in Ningbo, China, but then they were distributing out of the United States to different, as a wholesaler, to different retail stores, but then also they were growing their e-commerce business on Amazon. They were doing it on their own branded sites. They were selling on multiple marketplaces like Wayfair, Zulily, Fanatics. They had about 10,000 products on every single year that they were manufacturing and rolling out to all these different ways. And basically, I got my start because I was hungry to learn about e-commerce with them, and I grew out our own branded channel back in 2014 is when I started. So I actually took our business with the zero sum revenue and built it to 6 figures and 7 figures with their products. And then over a course of 2 years, worked for Viral Launch for about a year. So if you know the software solution to help get started on Amazon, so I know the background in terms of product research and keyword research and getting started on Amazon. And now I'm working for a fintech company, PingPong Payments, to help with financial and saving money internationally, sending and receiving. So I got this holistic view of ways to help Amazon sellers grow. So I think that's why you invited me on. So that's all.
Yeah. So this is how I invited you, and yeah, we can actually remind that I was on your show on the podcast number 50, and we were talking. We were actually having a lot of fun talking about ranking on Amazon, and not only. So I really like this kind of format, I have to say with Ryan, I felt so comfortable because he asked me a lot of personal, questions about my life. And this is great because this is something that I actually want to address here. We are still human beings. We are not just working machines. So we like to work, we like to hustle, we're still working late night, early in the morning, but we're still human beings with passion. So okay, this time I want to ask you this question before we jump right into the topic. What keeps you busy when you're not working? What is your biggest passion?
Yeah, so in pre-COVID time, it was, well, first and foremost, my family comes first. I have a 6-year-old, so he's constantly making me like build Legos, play, run around. We're playing like Nintendo Switch and Mario Kart, so I'm teaching him that. But pre this, I was doing theater. Believe it or not, I was doing improv shows, and I was doing that before COVID hit. So I've been in over 10 musicals and plays myself.
No
So
way.
it's kind of, yeah. So that was a big, believe it or not, time suck. So that was like kind of my side, not business, but I did that for fun. Yeah, just kind of have fun talking to people and being something else. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been on shows that have been just 4 people. And I've been on casts as big as like 60, 65 people. So it's been kind of this gauntlet of theater that I've been in. So that's kind of what kept me busy personally.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean,
Surprise.
yeah, how many people knew that about you? Like,
I
did you
don't tell
disclose this?
Well, I don't tell too many people because, like, I mean, that was a year ago. I believe it was my last show, like a little over a year, obviously pre-COVID. I'm like not the front person, but like I do the marketing and I try to help out in different ways. But yeah, it's one of my passions since I was in high school. So I just kind of like dabble in a little bit. I really perform. I rather just kind of be the play and let my acting do the speaking and stuff. Like I'm
Mm.
not the greatest singer, so that's kind of like I tried different capacities, and improv was really fun to learn and kind of do my own like show with a group of people before COVID hit. So that was kind of the scariest thing I've done, to get outside my comfort zone and try something
Yeah.
new.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I can relate because, I'm also an artist. We talked about that. I have this,
Right.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde life, living a double
Exactly.
life.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you got to have to balance out the fun with the work and
Yeah.
whatnot to kind of like reset yourself, and,
Yeah.
nothing too irresponsible that I don't go crazy, or I'm not like take time to like keep myself healthy and then spend time with family, but just that creative outlet that you can kind of go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. I think your soul is missing that when you're not doing it for a while. That's cool. So Ryan, this is really great. I hope I'm the first one to have this
I'm
surprise.
sure maybe publicly I've not told that, but I feel like I've told different stories to different people. But yeah, this might be the first time I've said it in the Amazon space.
That's cool. So right, let's dive into the very topic of this episode. So what is ping pong? And I want to ask you, why did you guys call it ping pong?
That's a good question. So what I understand, this isn't when I joined. This is what the explanation I got was: ping pong would be back and forth. So when you're playing table tennis, it's a back and forth game, just like tennis in general. So what we do by definition is actually cross border payments, or payment service provider. So in the Amazon context, if you're sending or receiving money internationally or across borders, make that borderline kind of the net. That's where we come into play and help Amazon and e-commerce sellers sell money. So by definition, if I'm in the United States and I'm paying my supplier in China, I can pay them out with a ping pong account in a local currency. So RMB or CNY, I can do that through our ecosystem. And this is really important because you can as an Amazon seller, you don't have that capability to tap into that unless you're going to a bank and you have a really good relationship with them. But then you're going to pay fees, which are super expensive, and that sucks your margins dry. So this is where we come in and help you save money when you're sending out to either a supplier, a VA, manufacturer, your any sort of freelancer. But then also when you're receiving, if I'm in the United States selling in Asia, or I'm selling in Europe, or Canada, for example, or Australia, I need to be able to receive foreign currency. Amazon will do that for me. They'll receive it and then they'll convert it for me to my bank account where I am locally. But then that comes at a cost. And those are the kinds of things that, as much as Amazon lists out their cost, they don't tell you how much that's going to impact you and how much money you're leaving on the table. So that's where ping pong comes in a play. Amazon will charge you. They don't want to have to do all those small often transactions for you from one currency to another. That's where banks do it, and that's why they charge such high interest rates, or just rates in general. But where we have such a volume of customers, we can pass on that savings to you, and that's where we kind of help out. Banks will do 4 to 5%. Same with Amazon, as low maybe as 2%, but we charge the maximum we'll charge is 1% of our FX. So instantaneously, when you jump to us, that's where you save money.
Yeah, that's amazing. So when did you join ping pong, and what is your current role? What were you doing with them?
Yeah, so I joined ping pong in the midst of COVID era. So that was back in April of 2020. So it's crazy the times. I haven't even met any of my colleagues in person, just because of travel restrictions. So it's all through things like this.
Yeah.
That I think that it's all reading people through a monitor. And I was recruited actually there early 2020. So I've been there for almost a year now. But basically my role right now is affiliate partnerships, but that's kind of expanded, right? So that's more partnerships in general, talking with educators and influencers like yourself, and then finding ways that we can help our audiences bring value and growth to education in general. So that's why I started our podcast. That's why I do like events and sponsorships, and just any sort of collaborations in marketing that we can with top minds in the space, so that we can help people grow, and hopefully talk to the same audience and help each other out.
Yeah. So, what is your your target audience, your target customers? What kind of Amazon sellers you normally help? And except of payments, can you help them in some other ways?
Yeah, so our target audience, basically, if you're, say, for example, if you're an Amazon seller and you're located in Europe, for example, and want to sell in the United States, we'd be able to help you get your money back to your local currency, at a cost-effective rate. So that's the first and foremost. In the United States, what makes sense to work with us is if you're growing, starting to take that international growth to next level, and you're going to start receiving from multiple marketplaces, that's where we would step in and help you save money, help you find ways that are going to be cost effective for you and to put more points to your bottom line. I would say like it depends on who you are as a seller. Like right from the get-go, our data and analytics aren't going to help like people get started on Amazon, but we're going to help you scale your business to that next level, whatever that looks like. If it's, I want to build my brand and I want to be international dominance, this is where we can help you do that, because we've had, just for example, we've had Amazon sellers in the United States that sell on 10 different marketplaces. And just on one marketplace alone, they were doing such volume, 7 figures, that we saved them $90,000 in one marketplace per year. And that's insane if you think about just like not spending that and leaving that money on the table. Like that's where our value comes into play. So Amazon doesn't always disclose, just like every other business. You don't always get to know like where the money's coming and going from, but this helps you pull back that curtain and say, wait a minute, I'm getting screwed. Let me figure it out. If I can save in some sort of capacity, because, banks will, if you're big enough, like if you're a brand that's big enough, you can actually work with banks to get really good rates like that. That's pretty common. But if you're an Amazon seller who's not big enough, but you're scaling, this is where that kind of supplement comes into place. Again, that's maximum 1%. If you're getting a sweet deal somewhere else, awesome, stay with those people. But it kind of allows you to shop around and make sure that you're not missing money, or leaving it on the table.
Yeah, actually, leaving money on the table is a very big deal when it comes to, Amazon sellers and making business on Amazon. I constantly get emails from my clients like, why am I being charged for this? What is this? Or why those reports, or why those refunds? So can you only help by saving money for currency exchange, or is there any other kind of way that you can help them, Amazon sellers, save money? For example, when it comes to returns, refunds, something like that.
Yeah, not refunds. Our solution is actually pretty specific on B2B. So we're not like a PayPal or a Venmo. If you're, used to those kind of, technologies in terms of like paying someone back for pizza, like we're regulated in the fact just like a bank. So working with us is basically, it's free to open. It's cost effective because you don't pay any recurring fees or anything like that. Repatriating funds from different currencies is our bread and butter. The other things that we do help with, like we could get into lending. I think you'll start to see potentially that down the road. And Amazon only wants to work with, there's only there's only companies out there that are, certified in terms of when they work with banks. Like we work with tier 1 banks. So we don't work with like cloud computing companies or anything like that to hold on to your money. It's like Chase or Citi or Wells Fargo or HSBC. Like there's this list of tier 1 banks that we work with and only work with those banks. So it's safe, secure, and reliable. The other reason why it would make sense to work with us is like the taxes reasons. Like money is our thing and it's really boring. It's the unsexy thing about Amazon that we tell about people is, hey, like, let's talk about saving money. Like no one wants to know that. They want to know like what product they're going to send and make $1 million off of. Like, that's what they want to hear. But when I talk, I say like, listen, do your homework. Like if you are, have to pay VAT or GST, but if you're in Europe, like that's a big deal. You have to pay those. So you can pay that for free through our dashboard. That's a solution. If you are scaling your business and you don't want to have like your assistant to have access to take out funds or pay out people or just like get your money and run, for example. Like it's possible. We have this ability to, we took the customer who's asking for this solution and we say, okay, well, let's build this out for you. And we basically built this way so that you can have sub accounts underneath your account. So your VA or assistant can pay out an entity, but not pull it out. Your accountant can log in, pull data, but then not like, send money or receive money. So yeah. So it's all those different things. Like our company has only been around for just over 5 years or so. And we've already done $20 to $25 billion in transactions. Like in the world of e-commerce, like cross-border payments, like that's still really good because other companies been out there, 15 years, 20 years. So we're kind of like the newer person in the space, like helping people save money around the world. But yeah, just kind of like our network of people who we're working with, you'll start to see more things roll out. But right now it's really just those core, like saving money when you receive, send, or paying out your taxes and GST and VAT.
That's amazing. So I can't wait to see someone raising their hands and saying, okay, I want to subscribe. Where do I subscribe? We were talking earlier about, the Seven Figure Seller Summit.
Yeah. So because I've been lucky enough to like know a bunch of people in the space, I keep my eye on data. Like data is my biggest thing. It's always following the data. And I worked at Viral Launch. We always, we're looking at data to help people. Same with you. I know you really tout like, don't make smart decisions. Don't just like follow your heart, follow what's happening in real life on paper. But for a metaphor. So what I did speak, we're also a sponsor for that event, but I was able to speak from my perspective of like growing my, like a 6-figure and 7-figure business myself. I was asked to like, hey, how do you save money internationally? How do you save, like, what are like international opportunities like that you're seeing from a data perspective? And that's kind of what I touched on and kind of like, these are what I'm seeing and looking for in 2021 and beyond. So like those growth opportunities internationally, like I'll be the one that hammers my fist and say, don't just sell on Amazon.com, start to build out your diversity portfolio, figure out what you're going to do per step, 2, 3, 4, 5, like start building out that solution now, because if you're just solely relying on Amazon.com, we saw it this year or 2020, people just got screwed when Amazon said, sorry, you can't send us your inventory. It's only, it's only like essential items, like your toys are essential. Like we won't let those in. And people are just screwed. They're like, what do I do for income? Like my business doesn't scale appropriately. Amazon on a whim can say, hey, we don't want all of your inventory. You can only give us 200 of your good, like per SKU, or ASIN, I should say. You can't launch a new product just on that alone. You have to have different abilities to scale and grow your business. And if you're just gonna on a whim, I say Amazon on a whim, like they control everything. So if they shut you down for any reason, like how are you going to survive as a business? Are you selling on a branded site? Are you going to sell in different marketplaces? So that's where I'm really passionate about, is like, hey, know these other opportunities that exist, and those marketplaces will help supplement your income. Amazon.com, huge. Obviously, don't go away. Like that'd be silly to do. But you can help grow your business and your brand so that when you do eventually want to exit, hey, make yourself a little bit more valuable to people and say, like, I sell on 10 different marketplaces. Like, what are you going to do for each of those marketplaces and for that brand in general? Like, that's how I'm starting to get people to think bigger and on an international landscape. Because when culture picks up, when people start to shop on Amazon around the world, because they're only on 18 different countries, which is crazy to think about. Like South America hasn't been tapped into yet. Central America barely even touched. Southeast Asia hardly even touched. Like once they figure that out, game over. Like billions of people instantaneously at your disposal, like game over. So I'm trying to tell people to get in early so you can figure it out, know it works, and just watch yourself rocket launch when it does take off.
Yeah, this is amazing. Actually, the marketplaces here in Southeast Asia are very, very interesting. Mm-hmm. They got a huge potential. I was discussing about this with Andy from Singapore, from Fabulous Training, and the numbers are just crazy. I think that in terms of population, and in terms of market size, we almost reached the numbers of China. We don't top China yet, but we're there. We have several countries here in Southeast Asia where the mobile penetration is super high. It is very common for people to hold two mobile phones, two smartphones, and they can use, Android or iPhone, and they can shop from wherever. People are selling live at any time of the day, just switch on their phone and selling stuff on Facebook, so they don't even have to register a seller account.
Right.
So this is, the penetration is really, really high. Ryan, so this is great. I think we gave a little bit of an introduction to what PingPong does and how you can help sellers from around the world. So I guess that the best thing for sellers who are interested in saving a lot of money, that someone said every penny you save is a penny that you gain, that you make, right? Absolutely. So they could be interested in getting in touch with you. We will definitely leave the contacts for yourself and PingPong website, and we'll give a lot of information about this kind of service. As you've been in the e-commerce for a long time, I would like you to give one tip to the sellers that are just starting their e-commerce venture on Amazon, off Amazon, whatever. You just gave a very important advice that is, I personally say that all the time. Don't put all of the eggs into the same basket. So tell us something else.
Getting started, never follow the product, follow the audience. So what I mean by that is don't establish something without knowing. Again, this goes back to following data. Don't start your business around an idea that's not verified. Go ahead and use tools like a Helium 10 or a Viral Launch or Jungle Scout. Find a micro niche. And I say micro niche because know that trends are going to always change with time. There may not be an opportunity now, but that trend might exist if something stupid on social media blows up. For example, a product or a solution that fixes a problem. Don't just settle on dog toy, almost like your PPC word campaign. Find that long tail keyword and find where there's traffic. And if there's not a lot of competition, that's where your opportunity is, and continue to innovate and grow in that space, because people will always be competitive, but be the first to market or be one of the best to market in those ways. So that's why I always tell people, find something that is maybe very hard. It doesn't have the sexy, I go back to unsexy product to sell online. Some of the most successful people on Amazon are selling some of the most ridiculous stuff in my mind, but there's an audience out there that's buying these like crazy. People always tell me I never thought I would get into XYZ category. I always thought I would be an entrepreneur and do this, but I make my millions of dollars or 6 figures to 7 figures solely on dog toys or I don't know, something crazy that, or garlic presses. That's the tool that everyone uses. Oh yeah, garlic presses. I'm the garlic press guy, or something like that. But who cares about what you sell? It's finding the opportunity of where you're going to sell it, and kind of go from there and let that be your guiding light. So that's why I always say follow the data, and then also just innovate from there and grow from there.
Yeah, I want to add to this thing that you said. It is very, very important. Find your niche. Don't find your product first, because the other thing is, you said entirely correct about the product, but the other thing is this: if you have a niche, you can sell them multiple products. You can get more information with the first product. You can get more emails. You can make Facebook group. You can make it your own network. You can make your own audience, your own, micro niche. And then after the first product, you can resell a second product, a third product, complementary product, or whatever. And getting to the known sexy products. Yeah, actually one of the biggest clients I've ever had, and they made, millions per month. We were between 2 to 3 millions per month. We couldn't even manage the entire portfolio. We were just managing a small portfolio that still was, was responsible for almost $500,000 of, US dollar in sales. They were selling, TV mounts and
exactly
office desks. So it's very unsexy. It's a black thing. It's a metal piece, but it's making millions on Amazon. So think about it. Think about your audience, your target niche, and your micro audience, especially because we have so many competitors, so many products, so many categories. It's all saturated. So absolutely. This was very interesting. How can people find you? And do you have any Facebook group or Facebook page where people can find you and connect with you? And do you have a podcast where people can find more information?
All great questions. So yeah, for me personally, go ahead and search Ryan Cramer. That's RyanCramer. On Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Go ahead and add me there. Our podcast that I run every day, well, almost every day, I should say. It feels like every day. About 4 to 5 times a week is Crossover Commerce. So if you search for that, wherever you listen to podcasts, you're going to find us. On YouTube, we go live like with people like David, who is we go live on our channel. So if you search PingPong Payments on YouTube, you'll find a playlist, but then a video that's like when we go live. So it's different times during the day, so we can kind of there's no consistency. There's consistency on daily basis, but not on time, because we want to make sure we hit as many different marketplaces as general. But those live out there. We don't edit them. It's just, if I look like an idiot, so be it. Like, that's it lives out there. But it's just like real conversations, like with David. Yeah. We've done over 50 episodes now. 4 more this week. Like this week in general, we're gonna have we're talking with like selling in Canada. We're talking with Jim Mann of Thrasio, who runs their entire UK business, like $1 billion roll-up companies, talking to me, which is really cool. He was a former seller, now helping acquire businesses. We're talking about with Yoni Gazor of Gatita. We're talking to Amazon brokers. So like the gauntlet expands like this crazy spectrum of different insights and minds across the marketplace. And then so that's Crossover Commerce. And then our Facebook group. So if you just search PingPong Payments on social media, we exist on all the different platforms. So no specific like groups that are like thousands of people. We have a couple like one-off ones that are good, but if you follow us on social media, definitely give a listen, and all the different great content that we're pumping out every single day. It feels like, go ahead and search for that. And then if you have questions in general, feel free to message me on those platforms. Give us a follow, and yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, I'll make sure that the link for any kind of like good deal, like the first month of PingPong Payments fees, you would get for free if you listen to this podcast and you sign up in the link below. We'll make sure that we take care of you guys.
That's great. So Ryan, that was amazing. We have a lot of information and some ways for sellers to save money that, doesn't hurt at all. And so guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, give us a like, and hit us up for, any kind of services for Amazon sellers. We can help you scale your business, do better, approach any kind of marketplace. Ryan can help you save money. We help you make more money. So that's right.
It's a beautiful marriage. Like look at that. This is how Amazon should work. Like, everyone works together to help other people make money, not us. We help you guys make money.
That's great, Ryan. So I'll see you at the next episode, guys. Bye-bye.